The U.S. Open is coming up August 18th. Today is the 13th. So within a week of every pro tournament, I'm going to give you an update on what's going on, who's there, what the rules are, and everything else you need to know to get interested in this. This is not to be confused with the International Open. So you see U.S. Open in Atlantic City starting August 18th and going to August 23rd. Alright, so that's a 6-day event. And some of the rules, let's check out some of the rules. Now, a lot of the rules, like, are you allowed to use a jump cue and stuff like that? It depends on the event, so they change with every event. So let's go over the World 9-Ball Tour. This is Matchroom. Rules that don't change per tournament. Let's do that first, and then we can find out if the U.S. Open is allowing jump cues, if winter breaks, all this stuff that depends on the event. The pocket openings on all World 9-Ball Tour events. The corner pockets could be anywhere from 4 inches to 4 1/4 inches. The side pockets can be anywhere from 4 1/2 inches to 5 inches. Okay, that doesn't change per event. There's always going to be a break box that you have to break from, so no breaking off the rails, unless it's the top rail, but you can't break off the side rails. It has to be within a certain measurement behind the head string in the middle of the table. Ball colors, we don't need this, do we? The only thing that might be confused, everything's the same except the 4-ball and the 5-ball, right? Yeah. So the 4-ball is pink and the 5-ball is purple. And there's a lot of controversy with this, and I don't have to tell you that a lot of players don't like the ball colors changing. You'll get used to it if you watch enough of these events. Let's see. What's important? A break shot. There is such a thing as a legal break and an illegal break. And so, in the case of a soft break, if a player does that, they'll be warned. And a lot of the rule breaking results in a warning, and then after each warning, you're going to be monitored. And if they feel that you continue to walk the line between what's legal and illegal, you'll be booted out and sanctioned and barred from a certain amount of future tournaments, if not all. So, there's people who make these decisions, but generally they're pretty fair, and they don't just come up and they're militant and say, hey, you can't do this. It's like they'll give you a warning to stop doing it, and if you don't stop, you're not going to like it. If the event has a shot clock, it's usually 30 seconds. But after the break and the first shot of the game, the player has a 60-second shot clock to begin the rack. There is one timeout per game where you can extend the shot clock to 60 seconds. Or just add another 30 seconds to the shot clock. 1 per game. What else we got here? You can request a bathroom break if you have to go to the bathroom, but it has to be between games. It cannot be during a game. And you will be monitored, so if they feel like you're taking too many bathroom breaks, they'll take action on you. But the general rule is you can have as many as you want as long as you call a bathroom break between games. Unsportsmanlike conduct, well, again, it will result in a warning, and you'll be monitored, and if you keep doing whatever you're doing, you ain't gonna like the results. If you're late, they'll give you 15 minutes to show up. If you're not there to start your match, goodbye. It's the player's responsibility to know all the rules of each tournament they enter, and if ignorance is no excuse, it's up to you to, well, I didn't know about this, or it was not going to work. And this is what happened to Jeremy Jones, who was in the Moscone Cup, and he was a captain, but for some reason somebody couldn't play, so he had to fill in, and this was during COVID. And so the player, whoever it was, I think it was Justin Bergman, couldn't play, and Jeremy had to fill in. Jeremy was playing, and the cue ball was dirty, and he asked the ref to clean it up. That does not result in an automatic clock stoppage. The clock continues to go. You can request a ball cleaning from a ref, and they'll do it, but it does not stop the clock, which is a little bit, a little bit controversial in itself. But anyway, that's what happened. And then Jeremy didn't know this, that he just thought it was like an automatic timeout, and it wasn't. The clock kept rolling, and Jeremy had to rush through a shot, and I forget what happened, but so in other words, you have to know this, and if you don't, it's no excuse. You're allowed to protest rules, and you can ask for a second opinion on whatever the matter is. Like if the ref called a foul and you don't believe it was a foul, they'll review it on the footage. Everything's recorded, and make a decision. Players are allowed to receive coaching, but not during the actual game. You have to get coaching between the games. No concession, no conceding matches is really not fair to the fans who are paying to watch us live, whether on the computer or TV or in person. These people are paying, so when a player concedes or just quits the whole match and doesn't want to play because Josh Filler is going to go 13 and out and is playing incredible and nobody in the world could beat him, you're not allowed to concede. And this is why Federer was severely booed in the Derby. But the Derby is not a matchroom event. It's not a WNT event. So he could do it. But he was still booed by the fans who stayed up all night to watch this match between him and Josh Filler. And Josh was just playing unbelievable. And Federer conceded the whole match after Josh got up 4-0, 5-0. It was obvious that Josh was on a tear because his winter break. And Federer conceded and got booed. He lost a lot of fans over that. The schedule was all screwed up during the Derby, and they were up till like 4 o'clock in the morning. Fed had been playing all day. He was tired. Some people say he wasn't feeling good, whatever. He just said, "No, I'm done," and walked out, which Again, it's really not fair to the paying fans who paid to see this. Anyway, apparently Fedor doesn't care about the fans, or he really was sick and tired and about to pass out. I don't know. I'll leave that kind of stuff to AZ Blues. They can bicker about it all day. That's about it. Now we need to find out in this event, the U.S. Open, if you're allowed to use jump sticks and who's breaking. Is the winner breaking? Is the loser breaking? Or is it alternate breaks? We'll find out. I'll do my best. A lot of controversy over break cues. Some people, don't care either way. And some people are very opposed to them. I was teaching a guy how to use a jump cue last night, and I have some of it on camera. I'll show you in my next video. Jump cues are allowed at the U.S. Open, but they have to be a certain length. They can't be shorter than a certain length. So I don't know, when they check in at a tournament or whatever, I guess they measure them. Yeah, that's it. Jump cues are allowed at the U.S. Open. The U.S. Open is winner break, according to AI. So, winner break, I should know this. But you see, sometimes they change the rules. But the U.S. Open has been around for many, many, many years, and long before Matchroom came along. So a lot of the traditional rules of the U.S. Open were adopted by Matchroom, and they just kept the same formats, most of them, just to be conservative and be respectful within what was adopted or grandfathered in. Let's get on to the actual tournament format and who is there. But it is double elimination until the final 64 players. Once they get down to the final 64, it goes into stage 2, and then it's cutthroat single elimination. So it's run like a standard tournament until it gets down. I don't know exactly how many players they have. It's probably 256, but I don't, what do I know? And, Matchroom is not making it easy to find out some of this information. Everyone who makes the final 64 is in the money. Let's go over the money. How about that? Now, let's see what they're paying here. Well, that's not as top heavy as the Florida Open. At 33rd through 64th place is $3,000. So you're gonna come close to getting your money back if you get in the final 64 and then get knocked out. 17th through 32nd place is $5,000. 9th through 16th place is $8,000. 5th through 8th place is $15,000. What would this be? 3rd and 4th place is $25,000. Runner up is $50,000. We're getting up there in the money here. And first place is $100,000. And you could almost buy a double wide with that. Yeah, and if you get runner up, you could probably buy either a used car or a not so great new car. Come on, Paul, let's get some money. We need some big, big, big sponsors, All these insurance companies. Everybody needs insurance, How come the insurance companies aren't sponsoring these? And those guys are robbing everybody. Hey, I shouldn't. No, I'm not going to say that. You didn't hear that. I'm gonna cut that out of here. Yeah, I'm not saying controversial stuff, but insurance companies are the biggest thieves. Anyhow, let's see who's with us here. Yeah, we gotta go back to the St. Matron, whoever makes your website, that could do a whole lot better. If you go to Atlantic City for this event, whether you're a player or you're just hanging out and watching or hustling on the side, whatever you're doing, if you go there, it's a must to go to the Hard Rock Casino and go to White House Subs. They have another location too off the boardwalk, a couple of blocks. But the easiest one to get to is in the Hard Rock Casino. And you won't regret this. The sandwiches are as close to Philadelphia as you can get without going to Philadelphia. And they're pretty damn good on a scale of, well, let's just go A to F. They're a B+. They're good. And you'll figure out what Philadelphia food is all about. And a lot of people don't know I grew up. I was born and raised in Philadelphia, and I stayed there until I was 22 or 23, something like that. And then, I'm not even going to tell you the rest, but we used to cut school. There was a casino bus that went through our neighborhood, and it was free, but you had to give them a $10 bill, and they give you a roll of quarters, and that's what made them pretty sure that you're going to spend these quarters in the casino, and they would make money, and that would be that. So we used to cut school and take this bus, and the driver never asked us or said it, or asked for ideas. Kid, why aren't you in school? And they just took it. They just did their job without questioning. And we weren't even old enough to get anywhere near a casino. But we used to take those quarters and play in the arcades in Atlantic City and try to hustle tourists. I was just a young banger. And they would open the doors in the daytime, and all the sand from the beach would blow in and settle on these really, really, really bad valley tables. And that's the conditions. This is where I learned how to play pool. This is how I spent my youth, cutting school and hustling pool, or trying to anyway. And it was never actually for money. It was for free pool games. Whoever lost would pay for the next game. And then when you run out of money, you get back on the bus and go home. That's what I said. I just confessed all my sins. Let's see who's there. Fedor Gorst. Of course, Fedor didn't do good in the last one. But he is the top money maker this year. By far, actually. I don't want to miss any. Is this James Blackburn, the Q repair guy? Great repair guy. Does most of my work. I don't know if it's the same Mr. Blackburn, but he's a cool guy, and I hope he does well here. And I hope he's there repairing cues. I know he will, but he's also playing. Max Lechner, very, very, very strong player out of Europe. Oscar Dominguez. And here's something interesting. Oscar's father, Ernesto, is also there and playing. And he's a table repair guy, table setup guy, probably the best in the country. And he goes around to a lot of tournaments and does what he does. He's probably setting up all the tables. Zelensky, Viktor Delinsky, is there. I don't want to miss. I missed a lot of people in the last tournament. Jesus or Jesus. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, so I don't even want to try, but he's a very, very, very strong player. And he put a lot of players on the L side last tournament. He's been playing very strong, man. Look out for Jesus. Look out for Jesus. Jesus shaves. BJ Eshery is there. An up-and-coming player. Ran the roads for many, many years. He's a real true road grinder, this guy is. Brandon Schuff is there. Shane Van Boening, whoever that guy is, I never heard of him. Shane, let's see, well, I'll come back to it. Shane had to move up in the money. He was 16th biggest money maker this year, but that has changed because, well, he just won 16,000. So he didn't move up. Now he moved up from 16th to 12th. You better get on the ball, Mr. Van Boening. Who else we got? Come on. A lot of names. There's Tyler Steyer. He's at every pro event. And he always gets in the money. He doesn't... And he has trouble once it gets down to a certain amount. But I think he's a great guy. A lot of people don't like Tyler. I like him. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. Payne McBride, Pastora. You ask who's here, and everybody's here. I can tell you right now, everybody's here. Jeremy Jones, I don't think he's playing, but he will be commentating for Matchroom. Jeremy didn't do good at all in the Florida Open. Mika Eminem is back on the tour. Mika's been battling cancer. I have not heard any updates. I hope he's doing well. Some people don't like Mika either. Watch that guy play. Watch his pre-shot ritual and you'll learn a lot. Alvin Ocean. Neil's fine. I like Neil's too. Neil's has a YouTube channel. Go check it out. I think he's a cool dude. Sometimes he struggles with his game, just like we all do. Hunter Lombardo from the Great Northeast is there. He's not traveling too far to go to that one. Alex is here. Alex Pagulayan. Yeah. I think I heard a rumor that he was at the World Games. Josh Filler was also at the World Games. Corey Deuel was there. I don't know who else was there. But they weren't at the Florida opening, so I was asking, where the hell are these guys? And they were at the World Games somewhere overseas. Thorsten Hallman. Thorsten did pretty good last tournament, I think. Billy Thorpe. I hope I'm not missing any of the big dogs. Dropping names like crazy here. Nick Van Allen from the USA. I don't know who you are, Nick, but I hope you do well. Johan Schur. Aloysius Yapp, who won the Florida Open over Shane Van Boening. Of course, he's here, and he is on fire. Keep your eye on Mr. Yapp, man. Playing like a world, well, he is a world beater. Mario He. What else? Sam Henderson from the Great USA. Werner is there. Shane Wolford is there. Jeremy Jones is playing. In fact, his first match is with Shane Wolford. Keep your eye on that. Let's see who is. Ivan Cortez from the Philippines. Very, very strong players. Also a very nice guy. Real laid back and quiet. Reserved. Corey Dole is back from the World Games, and he'll be there. Chris McDaniel of the U.S. Chris Reinhold, who had a good showing in the Florida Open and is playing very, very good. Roberto Gomez, also the Philippines. Joshua Feller's back from the World Games and playing at the U.S. Open in Atlantic City. Eklund Casey, of course. A lot of people are mad at Eklund. Is complaining about waxing the cue ball. The cue ball is sliding too much at some tournament. So made a couple enemies. Devin Poteet, road grinder. I like the dude. I think he's cool. He's easy to talk to. Devin's pretty cool, and I hope he does well. Skylar Woodward, of course, was there. Sky, I think, yeah, he got in the top 32 at the Florida Open, and then he got stopped by somebody. Robbie Capito also did very well at the Florida Open. Ralph Souquet is there from Europe. Everybody's there. Rodney Morris of Hawaii. Hey Rodney, I made a video about you. I hope you saw it. Jason Shaw. Everybody is here. I can't think of one great player currently great that is not there. It's good to see these guys back from World Games, wherever the hell they were. Earl Stickland will be there again. Earl got knocked out right before the money in the Florida Open. John Mora of Canada is there. Look at this. This just goes on and on. Dennis Grabe is there. And of course, Carlo Biado. I don't know how. I lost track of Carlo. Everybody was expecting him to do extremely well in Florida because he won the tournament prior to that, but something happened. He got stopped. And that's just the way, pro pool goes. Like Fedor, some guys say, hey, you know what, we've had enough of you. Anyway, I guess I'll just wrap this up. Tune in, guys. I will do my best to keep you posted on how everybody's doing in the U.S. Open. And thank you for joining me. And I'm going to post like one of my normal videos next. And we'll be covering, I don't know, like I said, I was teaching somebody how to use your jump stick that they just bought. And so there's a little bit, there's not much with that because I'm not real big on the jump cue either. I kind of go back and forth on it, but and we have a couple of runouts on the diamond tables. I don't know. It tells me what the video is about. I just start making it, and it goes whatever direction it wants to.